Hello and welcome, all you random people of the internet. Welcome back to the quality content that you subscribe to. So, given that this is like my first actual video, and my first video was more of like an introduction to what I plan to do on the channel, in this video, I want to kick things off by starting an ongoing series. What do I call this series, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. Shovel Story Showcase. Now, I know you have a lot of questions, so I'd like to answer them one by one. A shovel story is a particularly bad story that I found while digging through Wattpad, because as you know, I'm a big fan of digging. That's also why I call them shovel stories, because you use a shovel to dig. Did I just explain what digging was? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I actually happen to have a large collection of shovel stories. This is due to the fact that I have a lot of time on my hands. But time on my hands means more time dedicated to making sub-5 videos on YouTube. Gotta appease those 6 subscribers somehow. But moving on from that, I would like to kick things off. Nay, I would like to coronate this momentous occasion by starting off with one of the shorter shovel stories in my collections, unfortunately. But trust me, this story, nay, this gem will be enough to showcase all the shovel stories so far. And trust me, the hunt shall never end. Me with my shovel shall be prepared to dig through the depths of Wattpad until I find the ultimate shovel story. Then and only then will I venture into fanfiction.net. But don't worry, fanfiction.net shall come. Starting things off with a bit of a doozy, in my opinion. This one is called Spongebob X Reader. Now, I know you may be thinking, story searching, kicking things off with an intellectual property character will get your video deleted. It might. It very well might. But I really hope it doesn't. I don't want to say anything bad about Viacom. I really don't. I feel like just the mention of them will get me banned. I really feel it will. But it's a price I'm willing to pay. For these shovel stories must be documented and read aloud for the world to hear. And if the creator of the IP that this shovel story is based off of doesn't like me reading aloud somebody else's work, so be it. So, I'd like to kick this SpongeBob X-Reader story off by explaining what an X-Reader story is. Not to pad out the video or anything, I just want to explain. An X-Reader story, in layman's term, is just some IP intermingled with the reader, or you in this case, or me in this case. So, without further ado, I'd like to start the story. Road Trip, Part 1. I was packing my things to go Bikini Bottom. I even packed my pet snail Marilyn. She has a pink shell but blue swirly lines with purple polka dots. Her skin is a yellow color as well. I wonder if I should take the bus or call SpongeBob to get me. I picked up my shell phone and dialed SpongeBob's number. So I've been working on my SpongeBob impression for quite a while. And after a lot of self-deprecation, I decided I'm not Tom Kenny, so I'm not gonna try to be Tom Kenny. I'll just do like a high-pitched voice for SpongeBob or something. Hello? Hey, Sponge. Oh, hey, your name, how are you? Now, if you know X-Reader stories, you would know that they call the character your name or Y.N because they want you to put in your own name. But I'm not gonna do that, so let's just call this girl Shovel. Oh, hey, Shovel, how are you? Fine. Can you pick me up for my vacation? Sure. After all, I do have my driver's license. Okay, see you then. Bye. Sandy calls. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Mrs. Squarepants. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do accents, but Sandy's is just too good not to do. Plus, it gives me a chance to sound American for a change. Oh, shucks, Sandy. You know how I feel about you saying that. Y'all need to quit fooling around and get together for squirrel's sake. Sandy. Hold on, the sponge is calling me right now. Okay, bye. Sandy's point of view. Hey, SpongeBob. Hey, Sandy. We had a whole conversation about how he has a crush on Shovel. Sorry, guys, I didn't feel like writing the whole conversation, so yeah. Shovel's point of view. I was in his boat, staring at the underwater sky. We were silent the whole ride, and I didn't feel like talking to him right now after the conversation me and Sandy had. And that, folks, was the first chapter. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that first chapter really sets the standard for the level of quality that you see on this channel, and especially this series. So, what can I say about that chapter that you probably didn't think in your head? Nothing, so I'm just gonna repeat what you thought in your head. Wow, that was god awful and terrible. Not even just that chapter. This the whole idea. Now you can do whatever you want on Wattpad. I am not going to judge you. But SpongeBob with you? Who in their right mind watches SpongeBob and thinks, oh, I wanna get with that. I wanna procreate with a sponge. No, nobody thinks that, okay? And this is so much bad things about that I don't want to mention. I'm just kidding. I want to mention it so bad. I'm going to mention it right now. When does this take place? Does it take place like in the future? Like is SpongeBob finally old enough to accept responsibility for himself and able to pick somebody up? I don't care. There's so many things wrong. It's like Bold and the Beautiful, but with SpongeBob characters. And there's just so much exposition in the first chapter. It's like, okay, you know everything. You even know who Marilyn the snail is. Man, I hope there's a B plot where Marilyn and Gary get together. That is a story I would read. But alas, random people of the internet, this is not the end of our journey. We have 3 more chapters to go through. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Take my hand and let's dive in. This is chapter 2. Living with a Sponge, Part 2. Shuffle's point of view. We got SpongeBob's pineapple, and I threw all my stuff upstairs and plopped on his blue sofa. Then I got up and almost went out of the house until... Where are you going? SpongeBob said with a frown. I'm just going to... I started until I looked down to see SpongeBob on my legs, holding them, looking up at me. I said, SpongeBob, I'm not going anywhere, baby boy. In awe, looking down at him. Oh, he blushes. I'm gonna shower. You have work tomorrow, buddy. I sighed. I kissed his forehead and wiggled him off of me. I went upstairs and took my clothes off, then wrapped in a towel. I was about to get in the shower until... So, you're about to get in the shower? SpongeBob looked so nervous but smiling. Yes, SpongeBob, you can get in the shower with me. SpongeBob jumped up and somehow his clothes magically disappeared. His little butt cheeks. Laughing emoji. I saw them. He stepped in the shower and then I did. I sat down in the shower, letting the hot water go all on me. 1 hour later. Narrator point of view. I'm not doing the French accent, you can't make me. After the shower, SpongeBob and Shovel went to sleep in his bed. They were cuddled up and snoring cute snores with Z's coming out of their mouths. Gary was sleeping on his usual newspapers. Well, random people on the internet, that was chapter 2. Second verse, same as the first, I guess. There's not much more you could say. It was bad, it was immature. That part with the laughing emoji, where I said the words laughing emoji, they literally put it in. If you couldn't already gather that. Oh my god, when they got in the shower together, like, are they an open couple? Like, are they openly a couple, or are they cousins? Hey, I'm not saying I do that with my cousin, but it's a thing that could happen. This was an iffy chapter. So we have 2 more to go. Stay with me, please. Well, random people, let's waste no time. This is chapter 3. Narrator's point of view. This is Patrick's voice. SpongeBob knocks on his door. SpongeBob opens door. Patrick went upstairs and found the 2 sleeping together. He took out his camera and started recording. His giggles were so loud Shovel woke up. She gasped. Patrick! SpongeBob woke up screaming his name. She threw her pillows at Patrick, making him fall down the stairs and say, Veyland. I was breathing heavily and laughing at the same time. I fell off the bed and still dying of laughter. Wait, I thought this was the narrator's point, whatever. Then I got up and put on my clothes for the Krusty Krab. Then I walked to the Krusty Krab with SpongeBob on my back, in the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob in your name, you're 15 minutes late. Night shift for you 2. Yes, Mr. K. 8 p.m. Oh, looks like it's time to head home. Mr. Squidward, you have night shift. But Mr. Krabs, keep it up and I'll give you 2 more. 11 o'clock. Sponge, yes, your name? I'm tired. Okay, let's sneak out while Mr. Krabs is in his office. Author's note. You did just that and Mr. Krabs didn't bother to say anything else, but for the squid he had to stay. That was chapter 3. Did you guys like my Squidward impression? It's a really simple trick. You just cover your nose with your hands and it sounds terrible and horrible and low quality. But you get the idea of who it is, right? God, I hope you do. So, third verse, same as the first, I guess. I know I'm starting to sound redundant, but no, actually, I think this one was a bit worse than the last two. First of all, when Patrick fell down the stairs, he said Veyland? I suppose that's a reference to when Doodle Bob hit Patrick with the bowling ball. Although he said Finland, as in the country. You ignoramus. But whatever. This is just terrible. I needn't say anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe you are not ready for the 4th chapter. Nothing I say or do can properly prepare you for what's to come. You have been warned. You really, really have been warned. Please, if you're sensitive to crap, or if you're just sensitive to NSFW things, I guess I suggest you skim this part. Go to this timestamp if you don't want to experience the horrors that I've experienced. But without further ado, for those who are still here, let's get on to this, right? The Miracle Balloon, Part 4. Shovel's point of view. I woke up on a towel on the beach and looked up to see Spongebob standing in front of me. Hi Sponge, why are you so happy? I made a balloon emoji, grow inside you, blushes. Come again? Look at your stomach, blushes. Spongebob, what did you do? I slipped my clam in your pearl. Wait, Spongebob, you got me pregnant? Well, Spongebob, come here. Yes? I smashed my lips on his lips and pulled him on top of me. He flipped us over and he slowly slid his hands on my behind. I smirked. Do you think God lives in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created? This is the first shovel story. I picked this one out because I believe that it kind of sets the stage or shows what all the other shovel stories will be like. Because when you really boil down to it, all these stories are the same. They all use the same cliches and they all boil down to just being the same kind of gravel and dribble that you expect from the depths of Wattpad. Now don't get me wrong, Wattpad has a lot of great stories on it. Some of my favorite stories are the ones that I found while digging for shovel stories. So to say that Wattpad is full of bad stories is wrong. There are bad stories. There are a lot of bad stories. But there are also a lot of good stories. That being said, this was not one of them. I am disappointed and I feel ashamed for members of my generation because I know that I'm probably around the same age as the person who wrote this. And this is why 12 to 15-year-olds get such a bad rap, because they feel that this is the kind of stuff that they do. When it's not, they do nothing like this. This is just a small percentage of members of my generation, I suppose. But moving on from that, I suppose I should talk about the actual shovel story instead of just ranting. Sorry if I'm beating around the bush. Oh my god. It's just, if it wasn't for that last chapter, I probably would have just dismissed this as your run-of-the-mill bad Wattpad story. It's just that last chapter is really what sent it into the stratosphere of shovel stories. This will go down in history as one of those short but sweet shovel stories. Like, you waste a good 5 minutes of your time reading it, and you're like, there are so many other things I could have done with my time, but unfortunately I had to spend it doing this. But let me wrap things up. Please do not send hate to the author of this story. I will leave a link to the actual story in the description. Don't send him any hate, that's really mean. So please like, subscribe, and validate my existence. And I will see you guys in the next video.